Worst gaff of the year, not uncontested.
I have a list as long as my arm for this one.
Do you want to talk us through some of the options then?
Some of the options that people suggested are ones which we'll all be familiar with at this point. We talked a lot on this podcast about Leo Varadkar in recent weeks and his the grass may appear greener elsewhere, but it often isn't. People still believe that's a bit of a gaffe. He's obviously walked that back to some degree, shows that he believes it's a bit of a gaffe. One person suggesting Will Smith at the Oscars slapping Chris Rock was a gaffe. I would say it's a gaffe, all right.
Yeah, I think gaffe is probably not the right word for it. I think it was a bit more than that.
It was
still a gaffe.
It was an uber gaffe. Yeah.
Eamon Ryan, who has over recent years would have dominated this category for repeated gaffes from 2020 to 2022. His standout one this year apparently is when he was at, I think it was at a European summit, and he was like trying to come up with the words for Russia.
Yeah.
And he
the
couldn't.
people who invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
And he went all around the houses.
He was like the USSR.
The European, the USS, the Soviets, Russia.
Yeah.
Russia. But that he even went as far as like Soviet Union. Like that was,
he got there.
That was
in the
vintage.
End.
Yeah.
Robert Troy owning properties and then running away from questions is another one from a listener there. So
have your fingers recovered from nearly getting caught in his door outside Montrose?
Yeah, a psychosomatic injury is what happened there that day to my hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, there's plenty. In fairness, we're never short in Irish politics of suggestions, really.
No, somebody says Rebecca Vardy and her hubris is the gaffe of the year.
Yeah, but still a great yarn.
There's other ones. We've picked out the one audio clip because somebody said that just Liz Truss's very existence.
That was me.
Was that you?
That
wasn't me, yeah. I don't know how you keep on asking. You've asked this multiple times.
That wasn't an Instagram suggestion. That was just you.
That was me, yeah.
Okay.
The very existence of Liz Truss in the year of 2022 is a story of ups and downs and multiple downs, because there were so many gaffes. I mean, you think back to when she was talking about relations with Ireland, and she described Micheál Martin as the tea sock, which obviously got a bit of a hammering around the place. She was only in the job for how many days?
48, 49 days.
That in itself is a gaffe. Her budget went down like I don't know.
Lead balloon.
Yeah. I mean, it was just really embarrassment after embarrassment for Liz Truss. Do you remember she tried to curtsy? Her curtsy was a gaffe in itself, I would say. And also she was, at the time after she had taken over from Boris Johnson, she went to a school and she spoke to a lot of kids about politics, and didn't go well. They were asking basically when she was going to evict Boris Johnson. Here's what happened actually when she did go meet those kids.
Why are they going to kick him out?
Just go evict him. Do me a favour, when you become Prime Minister, evict him.
Well, he will have to move out at that point. That is true. That is true.
Very smooth at handling the question quiz.
Why is she so bad at that?
It's so bad.
It's patter with children. Is it not the bread and butter for politicians? Why can't you do it?
Patter's a great word. I don't even like patter. Do you say patter?
In these circumstances.
If I just only recently discovered the word patter, it's a great word.
She has no patter.
Yeah, Liz Truss.
My suggestion for this was, do you remember when the Junior Minister Sean Fleming at the outset of the cost of living crisis
Yes, I do.
basically said, listen, the government can't do everything. Would you ever just, these weren't his words, but this was how it was heard. Basically, would you ever just suck it up and shop around?
I remember that.
Stop
moaning, stop complaining and shop around. And people were like, I don't think you, a junior minister on 140 grand a year, I don't think you realise how much people are feeling the pinch of this. And that really kind of set the tone for a week or two as well. In fact, one of the dominant stories of the year really has been the cost of living crisis and whether the government feels like it's empowered or in touch with people and whether it's doing enough. And that, I think, in a way, did kick it off.